Have you ever left a doctor's appointment with more questions than answers? Maybe they gave you a prescription, told you to watch your diet, or mentioned something quickly in passing, but you walked out feeling like there was something they weren't saying. You're not alone. Many people over 60 feel this way, like there are important things doctors just don't tell you out loud. Not because they don't care, but sometimes because they don't want to worry you, or maybe they think you won't take it the right way. But let's be honest. You deserve the truth. You've lived through more than most. You've raised families, worked jobs, built communities, and you're still here, still standing. So why not get the honest talk? Not the sugar-coated version. Not the rushed 5-minute checkup. The real stuff that helps you take control of your own health. That's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to talk about 5 things doctors secretly wish you'd stop doing. Things that could be holding you back from feeling stronger, healthier, and more independent. Some of them might surprise you. Some might even sound like common sense. But if they were truly common, more people would be living pain-free, energized, and confident in their later years. So, take a deep breath. Make yourself comfortable. This is your time, your body, your health, and you deserve to know what really matters. Let's start with something simple, but powerful. Relying too much on medications without asking questions. Now don't get me wrong, medications can be life-saving. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, or any number of chronic conditions, those pills you take every morning and night are likely helping you stay stable. But here's the truth most doctors won't say outright. Many seniors are on too many medications, and no one's taking a step back to ask if you still need all of them. Have you ever looked at your pill organizer and thought, how did I end up taking 8 different pills every day? You're not imagining it. Studies show that adults over 65 take an average of 5 or more prescriptions, and that number can creep up every time you visit a new specialist. One for blood pressure, one for cholesterol, one to sleep, one to manage pain, then another to deal with the side effects of the first pill. But here's the kicker. Some of these medications may no longer be helping you. Or worse, they might be interfering with each other in ways that make you feel tired, foggy, or off balance. Your doctor may not always bring this up unless you ask directly. It's not because they're hiding anything. They just might not have time to reevaluate everything unless you speak up. So here's what to do. Take a moment to write down all your medications, including over-the-counter ones like pain relievers or sleep aids. Then, during your next visit, ask your doctor directly, do I still need all of these? Could any of these be causing side effects? Is there a safer alternative or a way to reduce the number? You'd be surprised how often the answer is yes. But unless you ask, that conversation may never happen. Now let's move to something a bit more emotional, but just as important. Pretending you're fine when you're not. We've all done it. Someone asks how you're feeling, and you smile and say, "Oh, I'm fine. Just tired, getting older." It feels easier than admitting you're in pain, or you've been feeling lonely, or maybe something just doesn't feel right. It's especially common among older adults. There's this quiet pride in not complaining or not being a burden. But here's the thing. Your doctor can't help you with what you don't tell them. And sometimes, silence leads to delayed diagnoses. A little chest tightness here. A little shortness of breath there. A sense that your memory isn't quite what it used to be. You brush it off because it's probably normal, right? Or maybe you don't want to sound dramatic. But guess what? Those small signs are your body's way of waving a little red flag. Doctors want you to speak up. They need you to speak up. But they won't always press you for details. If you say you're fine, they move on to the next item on their checklist. Meanwhile, the real problem, the ache in your hip that's making you walk less, or the sadness that won't go away, goes unaddressed. So the next time you're in a checkup, be honest. Not just about your symptoms, but about how you feel. Tell your doctor if you've been more tired than usual, or if you've lost interest in things you used to love. Let them know if you're struggling with sleep, appetite, or even motivation. These aren't little complaints. They're clues. And catching them early could prevent something much bigger down the road. And now that we've talked about speaking up, let's talk about something even more personal. Ignoring the signs of emotional burnout just because you think it's part of aging. You see, many people think that sadness, loneliness, or irritability are just natural after 60 or 70. The kids are grown. Friends move away. You may have lost a spouse or dealt with difficult health challenges. So you accept the low moods as your new normal. But here's what doctors might not say directly. Emotional health is just as important as physical health. And untreated emotional pain can actually make physical health worse. If you've been feeling down for weeks, or you're finding it harder and harder to enjoy the little things, it's not something to push aside. It could be mild depression, or just a sign that your emotional needs aren't being met. Either way, you deserve support. Whether that's counseling, community groups, a new hobby, or simply someone to talk to regularly. Your doctor may not ask you outright if you're feeling lonely or emotionally stuck, but they wish they could. Most of the time, they're just waiting for you to open the door. And when you do, help is often closer than you think. Now that we've opened up some of the harder truths, let's keep going. Because being honest with yourself is the first step to taking better care of your body, your mind, and your future. Let's keep going, because the more you understand what's really holding you back, the more power you have to make positive changes. We've already talked about the importance of asking questions about your medications and not pretending everything's fine when it isn't. Now let's shift to something many seniors do out of love, loyalty, or even guilt, and it's costing them their health. Putting everyone else's needs before your own. Now, this might hit close to home. You've probably spent most of your life taking care of others, your kids, your spouse, your parents, your grandkids. And that's something to be proud of. Truly. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, who's taking care of you? What most doctors won't say out loud is that many seniors sacrifice their own well-being because they don't want to make a fuss. You skip your physical therapy appointment because your daughter needed help with the kids. You don't cook a healthy meal for yourself because it's easier to make something quick for someone else. You say yes to everything, even when you're exhausted, because that's what you've always done. But the truth is, putting yourself last all the time doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't make you more loving. It makes you tired, resentful, and more vulnerable to health problems, physically and emotionally. Your doctor may never tell you to set boundaries. They may not suggest that it's okay to say no, but deep down, they wish you would. Because when you take care of yourself first, your rest, your meals, your movement, your peace of mind, you're actually in a better place to help others. Think of it like this. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you run yourself into the ground trying to keep everyone else afloat, eventually, your body starts to push back. You feel it in your joints, your sleep, your mood, even your memory. That's your body's way of saying, hey, I need you to slow down. I need you to take care of me now. And there's no shame in that. In fact, it's one of the most powerful things you can do, learning to value your own time, your own energy, your own health. Now let's talk about something else that often gets overlooked, even though it plays a huge role in how you age: not moving enough. And I'm not talking about gym memberships or intense workouts. I'm talking about daily movement. Small, consistent, meaningful movement. Stretching, walking, standing up from your chair every 30 minutes, reaching for something on a shelf, taking the stairs instead of the elevator once in a while. These little things matter more than you think. What many doctors wish they could say more clearly is this: sitting is aging you faster than you realize. Every hour spent sitting without movement slowly chips away at your strength, balance, and energy. And over time, it makes it harder to do the things you love, whether it's gardening, cooking, traveling, or just walking without fear of falling. The problem is, most people think, well, I'm old. Of course I'm going to slow down. But that mindset can turn into a trap. The less you move, the less your body can move. Muscles shrink, joints stiffen, balance weakens. And then suddenly, a simple step off the curb feels like a mountain. But here's the good news. You don't have to do anything extreme. Just commit to small movements every single day. Get up and stretch while you're watching TV. Walk around the house during phone calls. Do 5 minutes of light exercises when you wake up and again before bed. It adds up. Your muscles remember. Your body responds. And the best part? That movement helps everything. Your blood flow, your digestion, your sleep, your mood. It's like medicine without a pill. And your doctor knows it. They just might not say it as directly as this. Move, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Now I want to touch on something that's a little more subtle, but just as important. It's something that creeps in quietly over the years and convinces you to accept less than you deserve, believing that declining health is inevitable, and there's nothing you can do about it. That mindset right there, it's one of the biggest things holding people back. And most doctors see it all the time. Patients walk in expecting bad news, expecting pain, expecting limitations, because somewhere along the way, they started to believe that aging means giving up control. But here's the thing. Your body is still listening to you. Every choice you make still matters. If you tell yourself, I'm too old to learn something new, or there's no point in exercising now, your brain starts to believe it. Your body starts to follow. But if you flip that script, even a little, and say, I can get stronger, or I still have time to feel better, you begin to create a new pattern, one that moves you forward instead of holding you back. And again, your doctor might not have time in a 15-minute visit to give you that pep talk, but they're hoping you don't give up. They're silently cheering for you to stay curious, stay engaged, stay active in your own care. So whether it's taking a walk, cooking a fresh meal, starting a new hobby, or simply speaking up when something feels off, don't stop showing up for yourself. You are not past the point of change. You are not done growing. There's so much more life to live, and you deserve to enjoy it fully. You've made it this far, and that already says something important. You care. You're not settling. You're not giving in to the idea that getting older means giving up. And that mindset, that willingness to learn, to improve, to be honest with yourself, it's more powerful than any prescription. So far, we've talked about the risks of relying too much on medications without questioning them, the importance of speaking up when something doesn't feel right, and how emotional burnout, neglecting your own needs, and daily inactivity can quietly chip away at your health. But there's still one more thing, one habit doctors often notice but don't always confront head-on. And that's this: avoiding hard conversations about aging and end-of-life decisions. Now, I know, this topic isn't easy. No one wants to think about what could go wrong. It's uncomfortable, maybe even scary. But here's the thing. Avoiding these conversations doesn't protect you. It only leaves your loved ones guessing when the time comes. Your doctor might not always press you on this, especially if you seem otherwise healthy. But they're thinking about it. They see what happens when families are left in the dark, unsure of your wishes, making hard medical choices in hospitals without knowing what you would have wanted. It creates confusion, stress, and even guilt. But you have the power, right now, to make your wishes known, to write them down, to talk about them while you're still healthy and clear-minded. It's not giving up. It's not being negative. It's actually the most loving, responsible thing you can do. For yourself, for your kids, for your spouse or caregivers. Start simple. Ask yourself, if I couldn't speak for myself, who would I trust to speak for me? Would I want all possible treatments to extend life no matter what, or only if I can still enjoy some quality of life? Do I have a living will or advance directive? These aren't things to fear. They're tools that give you control, tools that doctors wish every patient had taken the time to prepare. It lets your care team focus on what you value, not just what's medically possible. And here's something you may not realize. Having these conversations often brings a sense of relief. It allows you to live more fully, knowing the hard stuff has already been addressed. It's like clearing mental clutter. You can enjoy today more when tomorrow feels a little less uncertain. So, take the first step. Write your wishes down. Have the talk with your family. Let your doctor know where you stand. You'll not only protect your dignity, you'll give your loved ones a priceless gift, peace of mind. And now, take a deep breath. Because if this all feels like a lot, don't worry. You're not expected to change everything overnight. No one is. The goal here isn't perfection. It's awareness. It's knowing what your doctor might be thinking but hasn't had the chance or the time to tell you. You now know that taking medication without question can be risky. That staying silent when something feels off doesn't make you strong. It just makes it harder to get help. You understand that putting everyone else first, while noble, can slowly wear you down. That movement, no matter how small, is medicine for your body. And that preparing for the future doesn't take away from the present. It actually frees you to live it more fully. These aren't just health tips. These are shifts in mindset. And the beauty is, you can start anytime. Right now, in fact. Take a walk. Call your doctor and ask about your medication list. Tell a loved one how you're really feeling. Sit down with a cup of tea and write out a few personal health goals or reflections. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Small steps, taken consistently, are what build a healthier, happier life after 60. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that you are not invisible. You are not just a number in a waiting room. You are a living, breathing, wise, strong human being who still matters, who deserves to feel good, be heard, and live life on your terms. So here's what I want you to do now. If something in this video made you think, maybe it made you feel seen or reminded you of something you've been putting off, drop a comment below. Tell me what struck you the most, or share something you've done recently to take better care of yourself. You never know who you might inspire just by being honest. And if this helped you in any way, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're here to support you every step of the way with real talk, helpful tips, and practical advice for living well after 60. You deserve that. You deserve to feel good in your body and confident in your future. So until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and remember, you're never too old to take control of your health and your happiness. Here's to living your best life, one honest step at a time.